Hey guys, a few weeks ago, one of our viewers, and you know who you are, asked about how we shoot our videos, what gear we use, what techniques do we use, and I was going to give you credit, but for the life of me, scrolling back through the comments, I can't find you. So, but you know who you are, and thanks for the question, because that's the genesis of today's video. You know, it's really easy to actually get started doing videos, whether it's going to be for YouTube or just for your own personal use. And most people overlook the simplicity. It's easy to get in and spend a lot of money on gear, equipment that you don't necessarily need. So I'm going to start with the basics. What do you really need to get started? Well, you can actually get started with something as simple as this, a smartphone. Android, Apple, it doesn't make any difference. They all have high quality video cameras and still photography cameras on board. You can download a variety of free apps to do editing on your phone. And if you choose to, you can upload it to Android, and all these things are free. If you want to delve out, spend a bit more money, it's easy to get caught up in the desire to buy all this gear that you probably don't need. So today I just want to talk about some of the stuff that I've used, and we've been acquiring this over a period of time. So it's not like we just went out and bought it all today. So the primary camera that I use when we're doing the in-studio shots, such as we're shooting right now, the camera I'm looking at is my Canon Rebel DSLR camera that shoots really, really good video. Now we shoot pretty much everything in high definition. Although the GoPros we have and the other action cameras do 4K, I find that editing the 4K and working with the 4K is a little cumbersome still. And it takes up a lot of extra memory space in the computer, and we don't really need it because most folks actually view their videos on their smart device, not a big screen. So I find that HD works fine. Now if you look around the little studio we have here, let me get my camera that I use for my blogging now when we're out and about. We have the backdrop, a microphone mount, some light stands, and tripod and camera and my extra GoPro going over there. Now, to be honest, you don't really need all this extra gear. We simply acquired it over a period of time. I think the total investment for the lights, the microphone stand, well under $150. The backdrop, it's going to cost you more for the paint than it will for the backdrop. This is simply foam board insulation I picked up at my local hardware store, painted it gray, and have it set up here on the desk in the spare bedroom, and that's what we use for the backdrop. Works really well. Now my Canon, which is really my good camera, you can see it actually is a larger version of what I'm talking to you on here, but I use the GoPro 7 as my primary blogging camera when we're out in the field. It's much lighter, much easier to use. I can take off the extra microphone if I want to, just have the actual camera. Now this little device I have it mounted on is a little platform that I've made that serves several purposes. I can either set it on a tabletop, or I can, with these clips, I can actually mount it on the chest strap of my backpack, so I can actually take it and when I'm hiking and have it right there. The Canon camera is a bit big and a bit bulky for that, so I don't use it for that. Now, in addition to good video, you really need good quality sound to have the video coming across as crisp and professional. We use often when we're in the studio, the boom mic here. It's not actually connected right now, but the boom's in place. I use the Rode mic that came with my Canon camera, run an extension cord, and have it right over here when Miriam and I are doing side-by-sides, the mic's coming down. Today was just me pontificating. I'm using a lapel mic. This actually came from one of my earlier generation Android phones. I have it plugged into my phone, and I have an app, a free app that I've downloaded, which is a voice recorder. So I record the audio onto this, and then I can simply move it over to my editing platform and put the audio right in. How much difference does the lapel mic make as opposed to the shotgun mic I'm using there, which is about 6-8 feet away? Well, you tell me, which voice sounds better? Me talking to you like this, or me talking to you like this? I think this sounds better. I paid a quick visit to my local fabric store and picked up a few yards of green material.
stapled it to the back side, and I have a green screen.
Now, when we're out and about on the Spyder, I use a couple of different cameras to capture our travels. First of all, I use a GoPro. Now, the GoPro itself is not actually mounted in the housing. It's still on my desk, but it gives you some idea of how I mount it. And I've got the adhesive connected to the side view mirror. And at the beginning, I was a little concerned that the weather and rain, wind would cause the loss of the camera. But it's been 4 years and these things are solid as rock, so I'm pretty comfortable. I have one on the right side. I also have a shoe on the left side over there, and I have them looking back towards me to get a shot sort of at this angle when we're actually on the Spyder. That works great. And then we also have, for each of our helmets, we have the Sena Prism tube cameras. There's mine, and there's Miriam, and I built a little charger station up here to plug them in to get them charged before we go on trips. They're low profile. They're easy to use. So simply, once you charge them, you pull them to turn on, push them back to turn off. We've got microphones. I've got one inside my chin piece here, and Miriam's got one there so she can narrate onto her camera. Now, they are affixed to the helmet using the adhesive package that comes with the Prism. But I found that in heavy rain and wind, the adhesive doesn't want to stick to the helmet as much as I'd like, so I augmented it with super glue, and it's fine. They're not going any place. Now, the Sena Prism 2 actually does a pretty good job of capturing video in high definition, and it's easy to work with. Each camera has a micro SD card that comes out, and you can plug it right into your computer to download.
Now, when I'm actually at my desk doing the actual editing, I do the voiceover work with a microphone that I have plugged right into my desktop computer, and I use open source software called Audacity, and I use that to capture the audio and import it right into the editing suite that I'm using. Now, the editing suite that I currently use is Vegas Movie Studio Platinum. That used to actually be owned by Sony. Sony sold their video editing platforms to a offshore company, but it's still the same software, does a pretty good job, and it's what I've been using for a couple of years. It's what I'm used to using, so that's what I'm going to stick with. Now, Windows 10 does have a free video editing program built into the system, so you can actually edit out some videos and having never spent a dime for editing software. It's really easy to spend a fortune for editing software, $500 to $1,000. The one I use, I think I paid $50 for, and I get upgrades every year or so for like $30. So it does the job. Now, where are you going to store all this video? At the beginning, it's going to be very easy to store all your video on your hard drive. But as you collect video, you're going to find your hard drive is going to fill up pretty fast. I have found that a 10-minute video is about 1 gigabyte of memory shooting in HD. I typically shoot between 10 and 20 gig a week, and that would fill up my hard drive really fast. You can't exactly store it to the cloud storage platforms because video, especially HD video, it's just so slow to upload, and it just ties up your internet system. Now, you could use a portable hard drive like I have here, but I'm not sure you want to store all your video on one drive like that. Several reasons. Number one, they're mechanical. They're prone to mechanical failure, or even electrical failure if you were to get these solid-state versions, which are really quite expensive. They're subject to theft. If a burglar breaks in your house, it's an easy grab item, even though it has no monetary value for the actual video, but the hard drive, it could be worth a few pennies to them. Thirdly, residential fire. If your house catches on fire, it's probably not the fire or the heat that's going to destroy your hard drives. It's probably going to be the water that the fire department is going to deluge on your entire house, and that's really going to destroy all your electronics. So what's a guy to do? Well, I thought about this and I did some research. And yeah, I can buy a fireproof hard drive. They do sell those. They're very large. They're kind of expensive, but they don't address the two primary concerns, which is mechanical failure and the possibility of theft. Well, I can get a network area storage device. They're big, they're expensive, they address the redundancy, so I don't have to worry about mechanical failures, but they don't address fire and they don't address theft. So I've decided to build my own on-site virtual cloud storage system. This is my system. I have two 1 terabyte portable hard drive. That minimizes the possibility of mechanical failure. To reduce the possibility of theft, both containers are locked inside this fire-resistant case, which is strategically hidden away and will require a significant deliberate search and a lot of time to extricate the hard drives from the container.
Well, that's going to wrap up today's video, our behind-the-scenes look of John and Miriam's travel log. Hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions about any of the techniques or equipment we use, feel free to ask in the comments below. And please, if you would, don't forget to subscribe. So our materials and equipment has been arriving for the upcoming maintenance cycle for the Spyder. We're going to be doing some videos on that. Besides the annual oil change, we're going to be doing a coolant system change out, brake pads, air and fuel filter change. So it's going to be a busy next couple of weeks. So thanks for watching. Y'all take care.